Okay, there are a few different feelings I'm getting around this. I think you might have been a little bit down, actually, a little bit flat, not your usual self. You're pushing through, though, like this man in this chariot. He just pushes through things. You were doing everything you needed to do. You always meet your obligations, but it was a little bit like, you're on autopilot a bit, I think. You had to do what you had to do, but your heart wasn't really there. Your emotions were somewhere else. Your heart was somewhere else. I'm seeing a little bit of questioning here, a bit of introspectiveness, because this man's kind of in this little box and he's all by himself. No one else is around him. So I think you're questioning, you're by yourself, you're thinking about all these things. I think you might have been questioning your career, whether you're on the right path, things like that. Yeah, if that resonates, that's really, really unusual for you. You're usually quite confident and you know where you're going in that area of your life. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. There's a feeling of missing out. Maybe there's something you felt that you missed out on. I think it was some kind of opportunity, maybe, because I'm getting this feeling of, oh, I almost had this. It was so close, and then I lost it. And I think you put a lot of work into getting this as well, a lot of preparation. You really, really wanted whatever this was. So there's this disappointment around this. It wasn't just physical preparation, you're mentally preparing as well. You've been preparing for a long time, maybe longer than you realise. What I mean by that is, if we have a thought, a positive or a negative one or whatever, a happy thought or whatever, and we feel something about something that we want to do or that we want, that works toward a manifestation, whether we realise it or not. So all the time you've been thinking about this, you've been mentally preparing, you've kind of been putting the thought in there to get this thing, maybe even for years. So if that resonates, I can see why you were so down and so flat when this didn't happen for you. Just looking at this, I actually think you still have a chance at this. I'm just looking at this star on this man's head. He's a determined man, obviously, and he's full of hope. His head's got, there's hope in his head with this star on his head. So I think you'll be able to do this. I think you'll be able to get this kind of feeling of hope back. And yeah, I absolutely think you can still do this. The thing is, though, this is what I'm seeing here. If you look at this man, obviously he's determined, but he looks as if he's really stubborn. It's almost like he's on a track. He's got his mind set on one track. He's not moving from that track. And there's a box around him. There's that box around him again. So he's all by himself. He's not listening to anyone else. So I think if he was on the wrong track and someone came and said, hey, you should really go this way. You're on the wrong track. Don't go that way. Maybe you should go this way. He wouldn't listen. He wouldn't hear them. So you can still do this, but I don't think it's going to happen in the way that you're imagining. It's going to come from being on another track, if that makes sense. I'm seeing some kind of an application process. Maybe you applied for this thing once and you missed out officially. And there's this feeling of, oh, there's no hope. There's no more hope. I can't do this. There is hope. That's what I'm seeing. There is. But you're going to have to go through another door to get there, if that makes sense. There's some other way. It's like there's some other kind of alternative way or alternative process or something like that. I actually think there's someone you should be speaking to face, because the feeling I'm getting is that once you're able to explain things and you can sit down in front of another person, another human, that'll make a big difference. It's a little bit like the process you went through. In the process you went through, you're a bit of a number. And this is about seeing you as a person rather than seeing you as a number, if that makes sense. That's what you have to get across. I'm human. This is me. This is my personality. So see if you can set up a meeting with the right person. Speak to them face to face if you can. Something like that has to happen, whatever fits in with your situation, because this is about humanizing this thing. That's the important thing here, I think, humanizing yourself to them so that they see you as a human, as someone who really wants this, who's someone who has feelings and understands this. You're not just a number to them. That's what I'm getting there. I hope that makes sense. So the next card you have your past is the Fool. Yes. yeah, this is how you felt. This is how you felt when you thought you were going to be doing this thing. When you first came along and you thought of this and you think, oh, I'd love to do this. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this. Now, again, you can still do this. There's a way into this. And don't feel as if you've been wasting people's time if you set up this meeting. You're passionate about this. You want this. And that's what people want. They want someone who really wants this, who's passionate. They just need to see that coming from you. The other thing I'm seeing is newness, freshness, starting over again. I think someone was definitely thinking about you at this time. I think they've been thinking about you for a while. I think they might have been going toward you wanting to do this, but then going backwards again. So it was a little bit of going forwards. Oh, I really want to do this, but oh, I'm not sure. Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. They wanted to connect, but they weren't sure. But I think this time with the Fool card, they're definitely going to come forward. I'm getting this feeling of, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I'm doing it anyway. That's what I'm getting, because I've been through backwards and forwards. I've been through wondering. I've done all that. Now I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to do this. That's what I'm getting. If you look at this Fool as well, you know, he's carrying his belongings around with him. He's got them with him. He's traveling, and he's collected these things through his life. They might be clothes, might be things he you know, pictures or whatever. Probably not in those days, but things that mean things to him, things that he wants to take with him. So he's carrying these memories of the past with him, and he's carrying them around in this red cloth. So this person has memories of you on their mind. They're carrying them around with them all the time, and this is red, so they're probably passionate memories. There's a lot of nervousness around this as well. It's like, I want to do this, I know I have to do this, but I don't want to go too far. I don't want to push this over the edge, over this cliff, like this Fool's kind of jumping over this cliff. So they're definitely going to contact you again, if they haven't already. This is in the past. I'm actually getting a really strange feeling around this. It's almost as if they remind you of someone else, or they remind you of another time, a time that you might not feel that good about. So if that makes sense to you, you probably don't connect with them again, and that might or might not be their fault, I don't know, but there's some kind of triggering going on, triggering feelings of a time in your past, that kind of thing. So I hope that makes sense to someone. So the last card you have, your past, the Three of Cups. Yeah, the feeling I'm getting on this is yeah, you know, you have the Fool and you have the Three of Cups together, and maybe you feel as if they're not very serious, or it might be that they remind you of this time when you weren't taken very seriously. That might be what this not so good memory is. Or there might not be a reason, it might just be a feeling. You know, sometimes people's reasons for not wanting to be around someone aren't logical, they're subjective, they're feelings based. It's a little bit like, I don't know if this is a trivial example, it probably is, but it's a little bit like names, you know, people's names. You might not like a person's name because it reminds you of someone else with that same name, you know, who you don't like. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with the actual name, and you know that logically. But, you know, if you had to choose a name for your child, let's say, it wouldn't be that name because it reminds you of that person. It's not logical. It's not logical. It's just based on feelings. So you have that, and I think you also have a lot of healing to do from your past as well. So there's that as well. But yeah, get ready for them. If they haven't contacted you already, they probably will soon. But from what I'm seeing here, it's not looking good for them. You're probably not going to be all that interested in talking to them. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have your presence, the Queen of Swords. Yes. Okay, so obviously the first thing I'm seeing here is this is what you're going to be like when they come back. You know, you're going to be a little bit like this Queen. Your guard's going to be up. You're not going to be interested really. And I think they're already sensing this coming from you, because I was seeing this nervousness. They might not be all that realistic about this situation between you, because to them, the feeling they get about the last time you connected is that maybe you gave off mixed signals, you know, because this Queen, she's got one hand up and she's welcoming people with one hand, but with the other one, she's got a sword up and she's kind of saying, go away to people. I don't think you were giving off mixed signals. I think this is just how they saw things. They're coming up as the Fool here, and the Fool isn't always the most realistic thinker. He does a lot of wishful thinking, and sometimes he acts without thinking things through. He just goes ahead, he does things without really thinking properly. So what might be a clear no from you might be seen as mixed messages to them, because they've kind of got a lot of this wishful thinking around this. They're only seeing what they want to see. So if they do come back again, I think you'll have to be super, super clear with them, I think. But even then, I think they've got their heart and their head set on this idea that they have of you and the situation between you. And they're kind of like, no, this is how it is. I'm going to do this. This is what's going to happen. It's a bit of a fantasy. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have your presence, the Eight of Swords. Yes. Okay, so I think this is kind of about this thing I was seeing. Yeah, it is. It's about this thing I was seeing in the Chariot. This opportunity. Now, if you look at this woman, she's wearing a red dress, so she's obviously passionate about where she wants to go. But she's stuck. She can't go any further. And that's how you're feeling. You missed out on this opportunity. You're very passionate about it, but you were stuck, and you still are, I think. So, yeah, usually you can see through your emotions. You can find your way out of things. You're a planner, you're organised, you're usually very grounded as well. But in this case, I think your emotions might have taken over everything else. And when you mix emotions, water, with groundedness, which is earth, sometimes you can get mud, and mud can be pretty hard to get out of, and so that's why you're stuck. You've kind of got the two mixed in together. But if you look at her again, she can get out of this. She can get out of these ropes or whatever this is around her. They're not very tight, and she could take her blindfold off as well if she'd want to. That's not tight either. So again, you can take your blindfold off and you can just let yourself see these other entryways into where you want to go. It's just a matter of seeing past the front door. There are other ways in. There are windows, there's phones, there's other doors, there's all kinds of ways in. But the normal way, everyone else's way, is through the front door. And I think that's what you're focused on. Like this man in the Chariot, he's focused on this one path, and you need to be able to see other pathways. The big thing that's standing out to me on this card as well is these swords. Just be a bit mindful of who you have around you, who you talk to about this, I should say. Yeah, there might be some people around you, they might be well-meaning, but they might be saying things like, oh, well, just move on, try and forget about this, it's okay, it's over now, it was a big thing anyway, maybe it was out of your league. Yeah, it is a big thing, and you're able to do this big thing. It's not out of your league. That's what I'm seeing. It is not. Sometimes I see swords as words. So if you're surrounded by these kinds of words, even if they're well-meaning words, even if they don't mean to discourage you, they're trying to kind of make you feel better. Don't worry, it's okay, just move on, all of that kind of thing. Try and get away from those words if you can. I don't mean you have to get away from people. It might just be that you say to them, because they are well-meaning, you might just say to them, well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else. I don't really want to talk about that. And then you can move on from those words, because you're really going through this down, flat feeling and all of that. And I don't want you to have this energy, this negative energy in these words, making you feel even worse. A lot of people are very short-sighted when it comes to what humans can actually achieve. People can achieve way more than even you or I could imagine. But a lot of people don't realise that. So, oh, don't worry, just stick to what you used to, don't do anything different, all of that kind of thing. So get away from that kind of talk. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, okay, so I don't mean to be so negative in this reading. It's quite negative, actually. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, here's this person again, obviously. They're coming in and out, which is what this Knight of Wands does. And to me, it feels, again, like a second try to them. That's what I'm seeing in the Fool card as well. They've tried to connect it before, and now they're trying again. Now, I think they probably do remind you of a time in your life when you just accepted things that you'd never accept from people now. You've had people who've just expected you to run after them. You've had a lot of unreliable people in your life, and you're not going back there. You are not going back there. So maybe that's what this person reminds you of. A time in your life when you're just sitting around saying yes to people. You felt pretty horrible about yourself, and you don't want to go back to that. Because I think also, even a hint, any hint of unreliability, which is what they're coming across as, the Fool and the Knight of Wands, unreliability, any hint of that just has you running the other way now. And yeah, again, they haven't thought about this properly. If you look at this knight's tunic, there are these salamanders, lizards all over it, and they're kind of turning around and around in circles. But there's a little gap between the head and the tail, so they haven't come full circle yet in their thinking. And the part of the circle that's missing is you. They haven't thought about how you think, what you feel about this. They're all too busy running around going, this is what I want, this is how I feel, I want to do this, I'm pursuing this. They're not thinking about how you feel. It's almost as if they're just thinking, this is how I feel, this is what I want, I'm going to go after this. They're not listening to any cues from you. They're not even wondering about how you're feeling. Yeah, they're rushing in. They're not in control of the situation. So, yeah, I think you're just going to have to be very careful when they come towards you again. Sorry, I've got a really blocked nose. I don't know why. I don't think this is someone who listens to anyone, really. And they're not going to listen to you. You're not in danger. They're not going to be dangerous. It's not going to be like, not going to be some horrible stalker, when you say no, they're not going to chase you everywhere. But they are going to keep on coming back, I think. They're not really going to want to take no for an answer because they've got this idea, this fantasy idea in their head. That's what I'm seeing. So be very careful around this. Just say no. Just keep on saying no, no, no. They're not going to listen the first time, maybe not the second time. The only thing you can do is just keep on saying no to them, if that's what you want to do. I don't know if that's what you want to do, but I'm seeing that all over this reading, that it's not looking very, it's looking as if you don't want to say yes to them. That's what I'm seeing here. All right, so the first card you have, your Future's Justice. I'm seeing equality here, equal with these scales, equal give and take. And this is what you expect. This is what you've grown to expect after everything you've been through, everything you've experienced, not just in love, but in friendships, even in your relationships with family members. And that's not what this person's doing. They're not doing give and take. They're just take. They're like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And they're not thinking, what do they want? What do they want? So yeah, that's telling me that you're not going to really be happy with this person. You're probably going to reject them because they're not listening to you. They're thinking about themselves. And when I was thinking, because I was seeing family members not quite understanding you. I think I've seen this in your readings before. I'm seeing that here again. What I'm seeing is I'm looking at these two poles, and I'm seeing poles apart. You're very different from a lot of people in your family. They don't quite understand who you are and how you are. I think they imagine you're one thing, but it's not really how you really are. That's what I'm seeing. They don't understand your work life. Maybe they don't understand your goals. And that makes sense because that's what I was seeing in the Eight of Swords. That might be your family who is telling you all these things. So if it is your family, and they're not giving you very good advice, again, stay away from these words. Don't take what they have to say on board. I don't think these people have bad intentions. They just don't have enough knowledge and understanding to be able to give you a proper opinion. So I think you might actually be relying on yourself when it comes to getting this thing. There aren't many people around you actually who'd be able to give you good advice, but that's absolutely fine. You can do this on your own, and there's nothing wrong with dealing with this on your own. It's good to kind of follow your own thoughts anyway on this. But definitely don't give up on this. I keep on seeing this again. Don't give up on this thing that you've always wanted to do. There's definitely a way here. It's a side path or a side door or something like that. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm sorry about my blocked nose. I hope it doesn't sound too bad in the recording. I've got some allergies and things. It's the weather change, I think. Okay, so the next card you have in your future is the Six of Wands. Yes, fantastic. So yeah, see, this is what I'm telling you. You're going to be able to do this. This is the victory card. You can do this. You might have to give some kind of presentation. I'm seeing you being on display in some way. People are going to be watching you, listening to you. Might be that, or it might be some kind of audition. Whoever this is, they didn't see the real you. This is what I'm seeing again. They didn't see the human side of you last time, but they will this time. I also think last time you went through this process, it might have been a little bit more formal, and I think this time it'll be more informal, more relaxed. You'll feel a bit better this time. It won't feel as forced. So yeah, you're going to go into this. I think you are going to do this. You're going to see someone face to face. I really hope that resonates, and I hope you are, because then they'll see that side of you. So the last card for your futures, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, this is frustrating me. It's not just my nose that's frustrating me. It's this card. Yeah, this person coming backwards and forwards again. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. That's what this Two of Pentacles can be. Up and down, backwards and forwards, going around and around and around again. That's all I have to say about that. But a lot of what they feel for you, also the way they imagine you feel, a lot of this is in their mind. Again, it's all in their mind. He's got so much going on in there. It's imagine. This is frustrating me. If you say no to them this time, I think you probably will, I'm not seeing them giving up. You know, they might even come back again and again and again. Look at this infinity symbol. This kind of just goes around. So be prepared for that happening as well. I actually don't think there's much you can really do about this. You might have to just keep on saying no, 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 over and over again. That's all you can really do. There's a lot going on in their imagination, and I think they're like, oh no, they don't really mean no. They mean yes, really. They didn't do all that kind of thing. So just be aware, just be prepared. I don't know if you're going to have to block them. Actually, I don't. They're not dangerous. They're not a bother to you. They just keep on coming back. That's what I'm seeing. So watch out for that again and again and again. That's what I'm seeing.